Okay, so this will probably be a pretty quick video. I'm going to go over how to get started with Laravel, setting it up for our test project so that we can go ahead and create an authentication system. But the first step obviously is getting Laravel installed. So you're going to need to be pretty comfortable with the terminal. If you're not, I would suggest getting comfortable with the terminal for Laravel because they have the PHP artisan commands and just a lot of very helpful terminal work that you can do with Laravel. So the first step is to get Composer installed. By far the easiest way to install Laravel is with Composer. So I'm not going to go over how to install Composer. I will click this link and show you. They have a very, very easy way of doing it. You literally just copy these commands into your terminal and run them one at a time. And then you want to make sure that after you've got it installed that you follow the instructions to get it all linked properly and installed globally. That might be a different tutorial, but for now I'm going to assume that you already have Composer installed. You just have to have Composer when you're working with Laravel because we use it for packages and downloading libraries and different things like that. So get Composer installed, and then once you have Composer installed, you can go this route where you basically install it globally and then you can just say Laravel new blog. I have trouble with getting that to work. I get it to work sometimes and then sometimes it doesn't. I don't really know why. But it seems like just the easiest way is to use their via create project through Composer. It works seamlessly, perfectly every single time. So what I do, I've already copied this so that you wouldn't have to sit and watch it. But basically, you just make a new directory, go into your directory. So if I'll kind of start over here. Let's go clear. So if you go cd into whatever your directory is. So for me, it is Dropbox projects code. Okay, so ls will show you all of their files within a folder. And as you can see here, I have cd into tutorials, and then ls again, and cd into YouTube. And from here, you would run the Composer command here for create dash project. So I'm just going to copy this command and go into my terminal. And I guess I will make this kind of bigger so you guys can see it better. You'll paste this. And at the end, this is going to be your folder, kind of the name of your project. So for me, I'm going to say, I'll say auth tut for auth tutorial. When you press enter, which I'm not going to do right now, I guess I can do right now. Let's make a different one. So let's go auth tut 2, and I'll delete this. Hit enter, and it's going to grab all of the resources and assets and start downloading them and putting them in that folder. I'm going to cut this part and come back once it's completed. It takes about a minute or two. Okay, so now I'm back and I have the Laravel installed, and we're ready probably to get going here. So I'm going to go ahead and set up MAMP Pro for it. I went their route of using Laravel Homestead, which you can see in their documentation. I absolutely hated that route because there was problems between the local servers and the production servers, with Vagrant as well. So I've just gone with MAMP Pro, and that's what I'm going to base this tutorial on. You can get a trial of it, and if you like it, you can purchase it it's pretty cheap. I think it's like less than $100. So with MAMP Pro, all we're going to do is we're going to go to host, and we're just going to create a new host. So we'll just call this auth-tut.app. And then our document root, we're going to change to what we just downloaded. So I'm in Dropbox projects code, tutorials, YouTube, auth tutorial. And we don't just want to put it on the root folder because Laravel serves out of the public folder. So hit public and then hit choose. That's going to set you up. You hit create, and then you just hit save and say yes. Now when you're using MAMP Pro, cool thing about MAMP Pro is it creates your local hosts file. It edits your host file, I should say, so that auth-tut.app will be basically host filed. So you can now, once you've hit save and you you're ready to go, you can go to your browser and you can type in auth-tut.app and it should pull right up. So now that's how you get started with Laravel. Now Laravel's installed, we can go ahead and configure all of the environment variables. So the first thing to do is to go to your code editor. I use Atom, and I would highly suggest it. It's the best code editor on the market right now. Go into your folder that you just created Laravel in. And just take it and drag it to Atom. Now you're kind of set up here. There is a package for Atom. If you go into Atom Preferences and you hit Install, search for the package Project Manager. And this package, Project Manager by Daniel Broden, very good. Just hit Install. And then once you have it installed, once you drag a folder over here to Atom, if you want to save it as a project, you go to Packages, Project Manager, Save Project, give it a name. I'll call it auth-tut, and then hit Save. And now, if we close Atom and you open Atom back up, you can hit, I'm on an Apple, so I can hit the Apple key, Control P. And then all of my projects are saved here, so I can go to my auth-tut project, just kind of close all these windows, and you've got it set up over here. So this is the default setup for Laravel. You've got your app folder where all of your controllers live, where your models will live once we make a models folder. And you have your resources folder where all of your Sass, JS, views will live. So for us getting started in this tutorial, I'm just going to go over the env file. So go ahead and double click the env file and open that up. First thing that I do is I create a database. So I use SQL Pro, which I'm going to launch now. I'll put a link in the description for where to get all of these programs, but SQL Pro is the best Mac database management program in my opinion. So basically, you're going to set up your local database. This is going to be different based on your whatever system you're using. For me, I'm using MAMP Pro. So my host is 127.0.0.1, and my username and password is root. That's the MAMP defaults. I'll show you one quick thing about MAMP Pro. If you're in MAMP Pro and you want to use the standard ports, which I would suggest, go to the Ports tab, and there's a button here that says Set Default MAMP Ports. When you click that, it's going to give you your basic default ports. Those will be so that you can use like localhost. I have mine set differently. It's kind of just preference. And it's also so that it doesn't collide with other development software that you have going like Node.js or something like that. But for me, I just leave mine default. Just that's a little quick note. But that's where you mess with that. So I have my default connection here. I'm going to hit connect. And we're going to make a new database. So we're going to go add database. And we'll just call this auth-tut. Add. Now, to set up the database, we're just going to go back over here to the env file. And you'll see there is a connection here, or a section here for connection, host, port, and all of that. We're going to have the port 127001. Our database port is going to be 3306. And we're going to say the database is auth-tut, and the username and password are both root. So that is going to set up our database. After that, we will get into some of this mail driver stuff later, but basically you can set up your app URL too. You don't really use this that much. I don't think I've ever used this in Laravel, but it's good practice to just make sure that you have this set to the correct path, because obviously you wouldn't want some random path in there that just looks newbie, so make sure you don't do that. And then that's pretty much it. So save your file. And now we are good to go. We have Laravel set up. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. There you go. So Laravel set up. It's ready to go. And from here, we'll move on to setting up Laravel Elixir so that we can do our Sass compilation and minify our JavaScript. See you in the next one.